BookTube, and welcome back to the library tour of Doom. We are in a different location, but we're still doing the library tour of Doom, and we're going back to 1983 today, when all the world made sense. This is Hugging the Shore, Essays and Literary Criticism by John Updike. That is John Updike, believe it or not, and those of you who know anything about this author will believe it. That picture is meant to be, oh, you're taking my picture? Oh, but it was the 1000th take of the day because he was an unbelievable prima donna. Wanted the picture to suggest everything that it was not. But one way or another, there he is on Cape Cod. And this is a collection of, he never stopped writing book reviews his whole career, right up until the end, for the New Yorker or the New York Review of Books or whoever would take it. Now, I'm well known, I am firmly on record as hating this guy's fiction. It's absolutely terrible. But his nonfiction, these essays, have grown on me with every passing time that I revisit them. And this is a big, thick, heavy volume, and it is full of great stuff. Just full of... He was a really good reader, a really good retainer. He made really good connections. All the sorts of things that you want a reviewer to do. And he was lucky enough from very early in his career to be given a completely free hand by a whole bunch of editors at major venues. So he took advantage of that. So if he needed, oh, I don't even know. Let's say there was a new translation of Dr. Faustus by Thomas Mann. And maybe, let's say somebody else was tapped with the job of writing the introduction to it, but John Updike wanted to review it. He could just go to Barbara Epstein at the New York Review of Books and say, I need 3,000 words. He didn't have to go shopping it around to the Sheboygan Weekly where he'd get 600 words if there were no ads that week for dog sleds or tractor pulls or whatever. He didn't have to do that, not at any point in his career. He was already an established novelist when he got that kind of leeway as a critic. The only reason I sound a little bitter is because every critic dreams of that. It's only since the rise of the internet that every critic can technically have that. You can make a blog or even a website of your own and write about things at any length you want. But nevertheless, you're trading notoriety there. John Updike could go to whoever was dealing with books that month at the New Yorker and say, I need 6 double column pages. And they would give it to him. And a lot of that stuff is here. And he just kept making. There are many more volumes of stuff like this. We'll see them all in the library tour of Doom. I think this not all of them do this. This is very helpful. This one gives you a list of some of the people that he's writing about. It's most of it is mid-20th century writers, either foreign novelists of the mid-20th century or American novelists of the mid-20th century. And I remember those years. I remember when those pieces were coming out, and I remember thinking, well, I don't want to... You're writing a 3,000-word review of the new, whoever, Joan Didion, in the New York Review of Books. Why would I want to read your review when in the same season where she has a book, you have a book? You're writing about a competitor. It's going to show in your review, and it never did. It absolutely never did. Now, it could be that there was a lot of politics going on behind the scenes, but you don't see it in the pieces. The pieces seem completely even-handed. And that stayed true. Once he achieved a certain prominence, there was no competition anyway. The thousands and thousands of people who bought an Updike every year were going to buy an Updike every year. It wasn't going to matter who else was in the market. It wasn't competing with anything else. But that was true even when they were. And you can't say that about a lot of his contemporaries. I'm not sure that I would want a series of volumes like this written by Norman Mailer. But one way or another. And I would want a series of volumes like this written by Gore Vidal, but Gore Vidal would make no secret of the fact that he was bashing a book because he didn't like the author. You would take the piece anyway because of how brilliant it was. You would take it anyway, even though he was absolutely flouting reviewer conventions. Updike doesn't do that. He played it straight. I have often thought, when I go back to this book or any of the others, I've often thought about an alternate reality in which he wrote no dumb, navel-gazing, completely sexist, derivative, bland, stupid novels. Just did this his whole life. The New Yorker would have hired him in a heartbeat as the regular books columnist. But nope. Nope. No, because the regular books columnist for the New Yorker, when he would have been able to walk in and get the job, would have made $27,000 a year. And his advances for one book was that. For one book in 1 year was that. And as he went on, he put less work into his books, so that number just kept going up, representing less and less work. We'll be getting to Updike's novels. on this library tour as well. But for today, we're doing one that, believe it or not, even though it's a John Updike book, I can strongly recommend it. If you like reading authors, really smart, observant authors, writing 2-3 page considerations of other authors, and you see this at a yard sale or whatever, this one crops up a lot, grab it. You won't regret it. You might, if you've read an Updike novel and you thought, oh, I didn't like that at all, and you maybe think, I won't like his nonfiction either, and this is a case where that is not true. It's not always the case. John O'Hara, for instance, also a staple at the New Yorker, tried his hand occasionally at writing prefaces or book reviews sometimes, and they're not worth hunting down, and that's the reason they haven't been reprinted, whereas Updike's publisher made a very nice, I don't think any of them are here, very pretty trade paperback reprint of all of his nonfiction. I think it was Mariner Books, or who was this? Is this Knopf? Yeah, this is Knopf. Yeah, see, my stagehand is showing me this. This is not what I'm talking about. This is Ballantine. And this is really good. Due Considerations is really, really good. Oh, goodness. Oh, my stagehand. She's very pretty, 16-year-old. She has pointed out that this is inscribed by John Updike to Jeanette. Oh, no. Whose fame as an archmage and wizard has spread far and wide. Best wishes, John Updike, 1983. I almost want to say this is Jeanette Colwyn. It can't be, though. Well, one way or another. That's the sort of thing you find at this part of the Library Tour of Doom. You'll find inscribed books and whatnot. But we'll be getting to do Considerations in time. We won't do another Updike tomorrow. We'll find something else to do tomorrow. But anyway, that is your Library Tour of Doom. It's actually a recommend, even though it's a John Updike. So, go figure. But we'll reconvene tomorrow. Thank you, BookTube.